And so, hello once again. Welcome to PAJEDI, your go-to channel for informed discussions on pressing issues. Today, we're diving into the fascinating journey of how bills are transformed into laws in the Philippines. Whether you were an advocate or stakeholders or just curious individuals interested in the legislative process, understanding this journey is crucial. Imagine bills as seeds being planted in fertile legislative soils. They start small, crafted by lawmakers or concerned citizens like us, but through a series of steps, they grow into laws that can shape the future of our nation. From their conception in either the House of Congress to their journey through debates, revisions, and committee hearings, each stage plays a vital role. Along the way, they face scrutiny, amendments, and possibly even compromises. But through persistence and collaborations, bills can garner enough support to pass both chambers of Congress. Once they do, they head to the president's desk for approval. And just like that, the bills become laws, ready to make a real difference in the lives of the Filipinos. So join us in this enlightening journey as we explore the ins and outs of how bills become laws in the Philippines. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that like button and subscribe to Pajedi for more insightful episodes to support our advocacies. Here's what we'll learn in a few minutes. A quick look at how the Philippine government is set up and the procedures of making laws. And lastly, what can we do as stakeholders? We will focus more on the Philippine legislative process. So the Philippine government has three branches that are separated yet interdependent on each other. Each branch of the government can change the acts of the other branches as follows. So the executive branch is the law enforcing body, the office of the president, vice president, the cabinet secretaries, and the local government units. The president can also veto laws passed by Congress. So, and the legislative branch, this is where we are concerned. Our Congress is the lawmaking body of two chambers and is divided into the Senate and the House of Representatives, which we refer to as HREP. So the judicial branch is the law interpreting body, Office of the Solicitor General, Public Attorney Office, the Justices of the Supreme Court, who can overturn unconstitutional, unconstitutional law are appointed by the president. The Constitution expressly grants the Supreme Court of the power of judicial review as the power to declare a treaty, international or executive agreements, law, presidential decree, proclamation, order, instruction, ordinance, or even regulation. Our national elections are held every 3 years, which would equate to 3 regular sessions. As such, the first year is called the first regular session. The House of Representatives, or HREP, this 19th Congress is composed of 316 representatives serving 253 districts and 63 party lists. Marami, no? Each representative can be a member of the House 66 standing or 17 special committees. Actually, nadagdagan din siya. So they serve a 3-year term and can be re-elected but cannot go beyond 3 consecutive terms. The Senate, however, has 24 seats, half of which are voted on by the nation every 3 years. Each senator serves a 6-year term, just like the president, and can be a member of any of the 40 permanent committees. They cannot serve for more than 2 consecutive terms. So the job of a senator or a representative is to make laws that uphold the spirit of the Constitution. They can also amend or change the Constitution itself. To craft laws, the legislative body or Congress comes out with 2 main documents, bills and resolution. So a resolution conveys principles and sentiments of the Senate or the HREP. They are divided into joint resolutions, requires approval from the Senate, the HREP, and the signature of the president. They have the force and effect of a law once approved. Concurrent resolution used for matters affecting operations of both chambers and must be approved in the same form by both. These are not transmitted to the president. Hence, they do not have the same force and effect of the law. Simple resolutions deals with matters entirely within one of the chambers. As such, these are not referred to the president and do not have the force and effect of a law. A bill, on the other hand, is a law in the making, or these are the proposed laws or proposed amendments. You hear about it in the news, like the House Bill number 9349, which seeks to reinstitute absolute divorce in the country. House bills are those made by a representative, while Senate bills are those made by a senator, like Senate number or Senate Bill number 2443, a consolidated measure that provides for an absolute divorce in the Philippines. Proposals and suggestions can come from the president, government agencies, private individuals like us, interest groups, and legislators. Only a Congress member, however, can introduce and file a bill. However, a bill may originate from either chamber or both at the same time. They may happen at any time of the regular sessions, as each house of the Congress have their own priorities and schedules, which would also mean they do not necessarily have to follow each other. So usually within the first few months of the first regular session, usually after the election of the Congress term, the first reading consists of reading the title, the author, and its referral to the appropriate committees. The committee then studies the bill and either submits it to the Committee on Rules or is laid on the table. A bill filed in the House is labeled HB or House Bill, and a bill filed in the Senate is labeled SB or Senate Bill. Each bill is assigned a number. Once the committee finalizes schedule, a series of process within the committee happens. So this includes public consultations, interviewing or looking for resource speakers in different institutions, departments or agencies, as well as stakeholders. Then sets up the schedule for the committee hearings and asks the resource speakers on all sides to submit and present their position paper. So your position paper only happens in this level. The committee assigned will then proceed with their corresponding House or Senate rules. As such, 1, schedule public consultations, 2, schedule resource speakers, 3, acceptance of position papers from different groups or interest groups, and 4, if action is favorable, a report is submitted to the Committee on Rules, and if unfavorable, the bill is laid on the table and the authors are informed. Once the committee hearing has been finalized, it can take one or several committee hearings, by the way. They will schedule for the Technical Working Group or TWG in case of several bills that are different in content but has the same purpose. Then the Committee on Rules will check if the procedures have been adhered to as per the House or Senate rules. Before having the minimum number of signatories, the signatories are the committee members themselves, sign the final draft for technical working group report. It will have a new bill number like HB or SB, then it will be submitted to the Committee on Rules for calendaring of business. The second reading comes after the bill has been included in the calendar of business by the Committee on Rules. Sino nga ba may hawak ng Committee on Rules? That is the majority floor leader of each chamber. This is when sponsorship debates and amendments take place, meaning it is scrutinized for details and implications. So during the interpellation and debate, like what we witnessed last time, the legislators questions and discuss various aspects of the bill, aiming to clarify its intent, potential effects, and feasibility. So this phase allows for deeper examination and potential amendments before the final votes. A vote is taken after all the debates and amendments, after which the bill is either archived or goes through a third reading. So the third reading happens when the bill goes through a final check and vote via roll call. If it's approved, it is then sent to the other house or chamber where it goes through the same procedure. If not, it gets archived. In our case, for the divorce bill, it can happen at the same time or simultaneously. After going through three readings from both houses, the conference committee of both houses ratifies the bill and submits it to the president for signing. If, however, there are conflicts in the provisions proposed by both chambers or houses, a bicameral conference committee is called upon to reconcile them. Bicameral means the Congress, being the HREP and Senate, convenes together to iron out or amend or introduce new provisions on the bill that will be combined. Once received by the office of the president, the bill can take one of the three routes. If the president signs or once it is approved by the president, it becomes a Republic Act and takes effect 15 days after publication in the official gazette or at least two national newspapers of general circulations. Veto. The bill is returned to the originating house with an explanation on why it was vetoed. We'll explain this further in the next slide. Third, lapse into law or no action. A bill is said to have lapsed into law if the president fails to act on it within 30 days after receiving the bill. It takes effect 15 days after being publicized. So what do we expect the we can expect the following for any bill that has been vetoed by the president. No? So what's next? The bill is returned to the originating house or chamber with an explanation on why it was vetoed. So the house or the chamber of the origin can either accept the veto or override it with a 2/3 of the majority vote, after which it is essentially approved and takes effect 15 days after being publicized. So let's hope our lawmakers are on our side. Bills, resolutions, and amendments, Republic Acts. These are some of the words we hear whenever Senate or House of Representatives releases a press statements about something that has either been proposed or passed their scrutiny. Filipinos in general don't know the legislative process, and we always have something to say whenever we hear a proposal, but mostly a lot of people think that a proposed bill is already a law. So let's empower ourselves by understanding the legislative process. These are all available online on our next slide. Lahat ng ating pinanggalingan ng information ay nandoon po, no? Our reference. And please share this. So let's empower ourselves by understanding all the processes. Our voice matter. Contact your legislators, express your views, and participate in shaping our laws. This is where we encourage everyone to let them know you need to legalize your freedom as you had been separated for a long time. Reinstitute divorce. So together, let's ensure our voices are heard, our concerns addressed. Let's engage, advocate, and make a difference in our democracy. So take charge of your civic engagement. Understand the legislative process by exploring the resources provided on the last slide of the video. Dive into the intricacies of how a bill becomes a law in the Philippines. Equip yourself with knowledge and empower your voice. Let's engage with our democracy and shape our nation's future together. Patas na batas para sa lahat ng Pilipino. Equality for all, not just a Sharia for some. Maraming salamat po.